What's happening, guys? It's Friday the 29th of August and it is 12:40. I thought you'd like to see this. This warms my heart a little bit, just because we're into the retro skates. We like seeing the retro skates that are still going. I do a lot of work on retro skates to try and keep them ticking over. So here we have a set of CCM Vector 3.0s. They were out when I was probably about 16, 17. We have a pair of Bauer Air 90s. I had a pair of these. You're probably talking I had a pair of these when I was about 9 years old. There's a pair of Supreme Custom 1000s. We've also got a pair of 952 Cats. Boy, I love to see the old skates still going. And we've got a pair of Supreme 135s. Again, every single one of these is going to be sharpened at a 5/16. That's the preference of the customer. So I'm going to get these done and then I'll come back and see you. We may have some special guests in today for some emergency repair work. Not 100% sure if it's going to happen or not, but I'll let you guys know if it happens. So in between the other jobs that I've been doing, it is now 1:57 and that's me just off the machine. I've got to try and see if I can get these skates all sewn back together for the customer to come and collect them. The other pair of skates that were originally meant to be coming in from the local Elite League team, that was what I was kind of hinting about. Was there's a player that plays in the Elite League team who is one of the younger kids, who his mum actually contacted me and said that his skates fell apart and they needed to be repaired in an emergency. They were originally meant to be coming in at 12 o'clock or 12:30. It's now obviously 1:58. They must not be coming now. They must have sorted something else elsewhere. They'd originally asked if we had any skates in store that they could obviously purchase to try and see him through a game tonight. And we also had been asked if there was a possibility of being able to fix the eyelets on his skate, because the skate had actually deteriorated that bad that where it was burst all the way through. Now, it was a pair of Hyperlight 2s, which is injection molded eyelets, and the injection molded eyelets are easy to fix for me. I have a couple of different ways, and I actually have some spare injection molded eyelets from a previous pair of skates that I have left over. So if I ever have to use them, I do have one set. I have a heat mold that I've got to now go and do, and then I'm going to try and see if I can get some sewing done on these skates.
Take my hand if you dare to stay. Feel the rush, take my breath away. If we fall, then we fall in flames. One more time, here we go again. Under the lights, we are transcending gravity. Pulse the rhythm like stars, we're never ending. We burn so bright, baby, the dawn is getting closer. Come near before it's over. We shine like supernovas. Under the lights, we are transcending gravity. Pulse the rhythm like stars, we're never ending. We burn so bright.
So here is another situation of when you go to do a job in a hurry, some things just don't always go according to plan. So I have heavy duty wax thread, which is the black thread that I'm using here, but for whatever reason it seems to be very brittle. So because I've started sewing with it, it's burst twice since I started trying to pull it tight. So I'm going to have to move to a slightly thicker gauge of thread, which is obviously not really good for the aesthetics of the repair. The repair isn't exactly going to be world beating, if you know what I mean. It just means that the situation for it is the colour's going to have to change with the thread, so you will be able to see the repair. You'll be able to see the repair anyway. So my repair originally started off life as a piece of ballistic nylon belt, which has now been glued on to this part. The reason being is the skate was actually splitting across this way. So that's just to give it a little bit more structure. I'm going to sew all the way down here and back up a couple of times to try and see if I can get it to a stage where it is stiffer and the toe cap won't come off. I have to now change thread. As we can see, there is some, I don't know if you'll be able to see this, but there is some holes here where I've actually already sewn through. But because the material or the thread itself is not playing ball, we're going to have to get rid of that and start again. So we've now changed over to the red thread and we're just about to get started, but I was actually speaking to Pam there. We had a customer in and they were looking for the skates and was trying to let them know where the skates were. So anyway, right, we'll get this done and then I'll come back to you. I did originally try and do a time lapse on this, but I'm not going to time lapse this just in case, because there's no point me trying to time lapse it if it's going to fall apart when I'm trying to do the repair. So if this red thread doesn't work, there is a slightly thicker gauge of thread again that I can try, but we'll see how it goes. Right, so it's 2:48 now in the afternoon. We've managed to get the repair done on the skate, so this skate can live and fight another day. We have got it sewn all back in place. As we can see here, obviously it's red stitching that I've had to use because the black thread was absolutely rubbish. It kept breaking. So what I've actually done with this is, as you can see just here, placed in a piece of ballistic nylon. That piece of ballistic nylon has actually been super glued onto the actual brake of the skate. And what I mean the brake, there was a tear that went across this way, and then there was a tear that went down this way. This tear has been all glued back in place, and obviously the ballistic nylon's been put in place and it's been glued into position and it's been sewn into position. You might think it's overkill with the stitching, but I wanted to make sure there was everything that was going to hold this in place, because I didn't want it to come off while the customer is skating. Now, as I've said to you before, these skates they're creased, they're pressed, they're needing some eyelets, they're needing a little bit of a repair. The rubber parts at the side of the skate are burst, the stitching is coming away, but most of the skate is actually okay. It just needs a little bit of stitching work. The next one will need to get done at some point, but it's not on the agenda for today because the customer needs to get his skates back. So the plan now is to relace them and get them sharpened and then get them back to the customer as quickly as possible. I feel bad because the customer had originally brought these in last week, and obviously I was unwell and I couldn't do the work on them, and it's taken a little bit of time. So I'm glad I managed to get some time today to do the repair on them. The repair that was originally meant to come in, which I hinted at and said about the player that plays with the clan, it was actually Kyle Carruth who had broken his skates. I think the eyelets had broken on them, and what's happened in the meantime is they've managed to locate him another pair of skates, a loaner pair of skates, so that he can play in the game tonight. Originally the plan was he was going to bring his skates to me today to get them fixed in a hurry to be able to have him iced tonight for the clan, but that has now fell through. They've managed to get him a pair of skates in an emergency, and we'll see how it goes. If these skates turn up in the store to get repaired at any point, he might come in next week, but it was way too tight on time for him today to be able to bring in the skates before the game to get them fixed. I had plenty of time put aside to be able to do them, but it just depends obviously what his schedule is like in between training and the game and the morning skate. I mean, I'm going to move on now and see if there's anything else I can get done, and maybe get 5 minutes to catch my lunch, and then the rest of the day brings. As you can see, it's 6:22, everyone is now away. It was an excessively busy day again today, especially with the sharpenings. A lot of repairs that had to be done, a lot of sewing as well. Obviously we had the pair of Jetspeeds, the old Jetspeeds that had to have a little bit of sewing to hold the quarter package onto the footbed. I also had a pair of Macs in, which had a strange cross-shaped hole in the skate. It looks as if it was a production thing where they haven't actually put enough material over the actual skate itself, and the interior padding was poking through. So I had to come up with an ingenious method of covering over the hole and providing a little bit more protection in that area. So believe it or not, it was neck guard plastic. That was the only thing I had that I could use. So it was cut to shape, het up and moulded round about the shape of the actual area where the hole was, where it had to be sewn into place. So first off, what I did, like I say, I het it up and shaped it to the shape of the skate, and then super glued it onto the skate and then sewed it into place with the Speedy Stitcher. So that was another job that came in. I also had Jordan Buesa in today for a skate sharpening and to spec his KYC sticks. So he was going through the process of specking sticks today with Pamela, which is a relatively straightforward process. It was basically him making the decision what shaft shape he was going to go for, what kick point he was going to go for, what colour scheme, what curve and what flex and what length he was going to go for. So that's all now, well, I say it all now been done. Jordan went away to have a think about what he wants to do, what model he wants to go for, if he wants to go for the Skyline or if he wants to go for the Phantom X. We're just waiting on Lewis Young coming back to us to let us know as well what he's going to go for. What he actually never made it into the store today, so what we did with that one was we emailed him a spec sheet for his sticks. So hopefully he comes back to us within the next forthcoming days and we can get his order processed and away so that he can get his sticks sooner rather than later. Same with Jordan. There is a goalie stick that's been brought in. The boy that I had fixed the goalie stick for previously has given me his another goalie stick in. The one that I repaired actually lasted a couple of games and then someone fell on it and it broke, but he says that he couldn't tell the difference with where the repair was, so I'm quite happy with that the repair went quite well. He's got a chip or a hole here which has weakened the backside of the shaft, and he's asked me to fill that area up if possible. And he's also got a split on the shaft just here. I don't know if you'll be able to see that very well, but there is a crack on the shaft, and he would like me to reinforce that area also. Now, on further inspections, before I even take the stick apart or before I do anything, there's also a crack in this area, which is going to be very, very difficult to try and reinforce. So it may mean that I have to use some ingenuity to be able to get that one a little bit more sturdy. It's obviously got a crack along the shape of the join where the carbon fibre has been joined in that area. So I may have to sand that back a little bit, put new resin on it, and then a couple of pieces of carbon fibre to try and reinforce that area. These sticks are very, very brittle. I don't know if it's not a specific brand that's the problem. I just think that the goalie sticks nowadays are just not made to last. I have friends that still use wooden goalie sticks, and the wooden goalie sticks are outlasting the composite ones. There's obviously foam core sticks as well that are outlasting the composite ones also. But again, everything has to be lighter, everything has to be more performance based. And what we're finding is even at the kids level, a lot of these goalie sticks are not made to last. So we're in the process of trying to see if we've got another supplier lined up for goalie sticks. So it's something that KYC are obviously looking at doing as well. So or they have done previously. So we're in the process of emailing them to find out if they've got any available, and then obviously if they come in full right as well, because the boy is a full right goalie, which means he holds his goalie stick in his left hand and catches with his right hand. So other than that, that's us finished for today. That'll be us back in the store tomorrow at 12:30, so I will see you then. Well, it's Saturday, it is the 30th, it is 7 minutes past 1. It's been an excessively busy day for us so far today. I was up at 3 o'clock this morning to let the dog out because he decided he wanted to be an asshole. We have then been at the new house where we're moving into with Pam's mums. I've been moving plasterboard and I've been moving floorboards and all that kind of stuff, so I've been moving today, so I'm all scratches all over my arms from carrying the boards. But other than that, it's been pretty quiet in the store so far. There's been 3 sharpenings actually, 4. There's been 4 sharpenings so far and nothing else really happening so far, so it gives us a little chance to kind of decompress after the busy morning that we've had, obviously getting things ready for moving. And as you can see, coffee. I think it's time for Pam to go and make a cup of wake up juice. I think I might go and partake in a wee can of Red Bull or something like that just to try and wake me up, because I am absolutely shattered. Still not running at 100% here.
Definitely not.
Still taking dizzy turns and still feeling off. Never got my blood results from the doctor on Friday because we were just too busy in here to get 2 minutes to call.
We did phone twice during the week. We were told on the Wednesday they were just in. They were to be seen by the doctor to phone back the Thursday. Phone back the Thursday and they said they're not ready yet. Could you phone back tomorrow?
It must not be an emergency, but there's definitely something not right with me. I still feel as if I'm still exceedingly sick. I don't mean like sick as in like unwell. I just mean like I get dizzy spells, I feel nauseous, and I've just not got my usual energy that I usually have. So I'm struggling a little bit this week. Obviously last week I never ate, and then this week I seem to be eating for Scotland. As we can see, the where I gave blood is still a little bit bruised. But other than that...
Took your arm out?
Yeah, exactly. I think he tried to cut my arm off with the needle, never mind try to do anything else. But yeah, we'll go just now and we'll see what today brings. Hopefully it gets busier in the next little while. Well, that was a bit of a whirlwind of a shift. It is now 5:57 and that is literally the last customer who just left the store. It has been excessively busy today. I am not complaining at all. It's been very consistent with sharpenings and repairs, and that's exactly what we're looking for. Something that Pam and I had actually spoke about the other night is I'm looking for a shoe patcher machine now to try and see if I can do some more labour intensive sewing, for example being the fixing of skates and glove palms. So that's something that is on my radar for another thing to add to our bow. We are obviously talking about the profiling machine. We had said about that before as well. We're actually looking into that as well. Haven't really done much looking into it at the moment because it has been so busy. We literally got in here today just before 12:30, or Pam did. It took me nearly 15 minutes to get through, just from round the corner into the car park because Paisley was really busy today. But it has been excessive. So
this morning where we got pulled over to my mum's, we've obviously got a friend working on the loft conversion, and he's been there. God love his wee socks. This is the second or third weekend in a row he's been there all weekend. This weekend he's burst through, put the window in, one of the windows in, and he's starting to sheet it and floor it and whatever else. So he'd asked, and I've been going over anyway, but he asked Stephen to come over and help lift.
Be his labourer for the day.
Be his labourer for the day. So we were lifting plasterboard, flooring board, up the stairs and then up through the gap, which was pretty hard going. And then you had burst home for a wee shower. I come over here and got opened up, and it just, from the minute we opened to well after 5 o'clock, I mean, we had a call to say could we stay open late, so literally I've just got rid of the customers and it's 6 o'clock. It's been quite a heavy day so far.
Yeah, it's been very, very heavy. Just in general, I didn't sleep very well last night, if I'm honest. We're having a wee bit of issue with Hector at the moment. What he's doing is he's drinking excessive amounts of water at night time, and then he's deciding that he needs out the entire night. So 1 o'clock, 3 o'clock, and then Pam was probably up about 6 o'clock, 6:30, and then he was, if you don't, sometimes we don't hear him, other times he comes up and headbutts the door. I sleep in the spare room because I'm up most of the night anyway, and Hector comes up to the spare room and headbutts the door, opens the door, and it's a case of, right, we need to go now. It's either that or the kitchen floor gets flooded, unfortunately. But
yeah, he's going in to see the vet very soon as we can get an appointment put on for him. It's just been exceedingly busy, and other than the excessive peeing, he's pretty healthy. He eats his food, he's not off his food, he's not off his toilet, everything's fine. It's just, I think it's just his age, but yeah, we're going to get him tested and blood tests just to make sure everything's okay.
So other than that, there's not really much to go on. There's nothing really else happened. Like I say, there was quite a lot of sharpenings in today.
Today was really positive. We had a lot of new kit inquiries, a lot of kids joining the new, joining up new hockey academy, different things. A lot of heat moulds in, people coming back to hockey. Your work wife came in to see you.
Ruth came back
Hopefully
in today.
You'll see more of Ruth if we can convince her to come back on most Saturdays.
Just to premise that, it was so busy at one point I had to come off the machine to do a heat mould, and Ruth jumped straight on to do a sharpening for me to help me, because there was a queue of people. We actually had a profile that came in, and it was a profile and a sharpen from the same person, and basically they said, oh, it's just a quick sharpen for one set of steels, but I need a wee bit off the heel on the other ones. I'm like, cool, no problem. I go to do the sharpening, and I had to profile both sets of steels. I say both, profile them, I had to match them because they were slightly different sized. So that had to be done first, then I had to sharpen them, but because I have to sharpen them at such an aggressive depth, being a 3/16, which is just under an eighth, over a quarter, it's excessively deep. But this player has got knee issues and ankle issues and needs the skates to be sharpened so he can basically do what he needs to be able to do on the ice. So it takes a wee bit longer to be able to do the deeper grinds. So it did mean that there was a slight backlog today. But other than that, orders are coming on. We've got our stuff more or less ready to go to the suppliers for when the house sale goes through. And then obviously it's going to be all hands to the pump, try and see if we can get this place painted, decorated, and get the new equipment in. We are very, very quickly running out of time.
We've got 3 weeks.
3 weeks and we have to be out of the house, and then we're moving in with Pam's mum, so the loft has to be finished for then as well. And then we have to try and get the place decorated, or our room decorated, Pam's mum's room decorated, a media wall put in Pam's mum's room, storage put in our room, and then we have to try and find everything. There's spaces for everything to go from two houses into one house.
The back room, which will become our dressing room, excess storage.
Spare bedroom for me.
There's no bed going in it.
No, there is, I'm telling you, there is.
There's no bed going in it. There's no room for bed.
Right, well, if there's no bed going in that, there's a bed going in the outside room. Yeah, and I'll go and sleep in that. So instead of rabbiting on and boring you guys to death, we'll just call this video quits, because again, it's been a really...
I think I'm going to start mounting the GoPro up on the mirror so that you can see how busy it is, and you can understand why we don't have time to do camera stuff. I know that it's a bit boring for you guys to watch. We also talked about launching TikTok lives basically when it's busy, just go watch us being busy. Up you go, up in the wall. But obviously that we have to make sure that we get permission from everybody that's come in, because people are bringing kids in and it's not really the best to be live on TikTok with children and so on and so forth. So yeah, we will suss out what we're going to do with all that.
Yeah, that's a plan that we've got, but at the same point, it's just like I say, it's excessively busy at the moment, and you will find hopefully the content will get slightly better over the next little while, but it will be snippets of what we're doing on a day-to-day basis, not the big massive vlogs, unfortunately, because if things go the way we would like it to be, we won't necessarily have as much time to do the vlogs, unfortunately. But at the same point, we will try and tie in with you guys throughout the week and obviously put something together for you, so you've still got something to watch.
We were also going to tie in with Jan, who's going to hopefully maybe do some figure skate stuff. She'll be posted on socials, hopefully. She's away to uni, but she said she's going to still touch in with us. And then we've also got Lewis as well.
Lewis, we're going to try and get him back on his figure skates again and get Jan to maybe coach him. So I might actually do a little bit of videography for that one, following Lewis and his journey again on the figure skates, seeing as that's the rink opened back up now. Yep, we can maybe try and Lewis and Jan and get something organised now that Lewis is back in the rink, if we can get a square 5 minutes where it's empty. Yep. So other than that, guys, like, share and subscribe if you like the content. If you would like to support us in any way, shape or form, we will be putting our clothing on our website in the forthcoming weeks.
As soon as we get it designed.
Yep, exactly. As soon as it's designed, it'll be made and it'll be available for you guys. It'll be available for you guys to purchase on our website. We will leave links in the description once it is live and ready to go, and we will actually show you guys our clothing range as well once it finally comes out. Like, share, subscribe, keep it cold-blooded, and I'll see you in the next one. Take it easy.
One eternity later.
Well, good morning, cold-blooded fans. This is coming to you from a very beautiful Sunday morning. The time on the clock is 7:53. We have Gruesome Twosome having the breakfast. Sammy has his first cross-size competition today in the time capsule in Lanarkshire. He's going with Clan Academy, so he's quite excited about that. We're just going to go and get Stephen up and get us all ready to go. So we're heading over there today, but his competition's on between 9:45 and 12. And then we'll be down the road. Stephen's got some editing to do this afternoon, which he's going to get done, and I'm going to go over to my mum's and do a little bit more. Jason's over today. He's come over this morning at 9 o'clock to my mum's to continue the loft conversion. So it is a very busy Sunday. So just so you all know, we don't do lazy Sundays apparently. Cannot wait to the stage where we can actually have a lazy Sunday, but in the next 3 to 4 weeks there'll be no lazy nothing. I've got a bit of a cold coming on this morning, which is a bit but at least the day is beautiful. I mean, the sky is blue. Hopefully the rain is gone. So we will catch you all soon. I might try and get a little bit of video of Sammy's competition. Obviously quite aware that it is children's competition, so we don't really want to be filming. They're not my children. I don't want to put them on YouTube when it's not really up to me. So we will see what we can do for you today. Well, everybody, it's been an interesting morning. It's 11:57 and we are on our way back from Coatbridge. How did hockey go today, Sam?
Good, I even won a medal.
Even won a medal?
First one.
First one. How are you feeling today?
That was wild. That cross-ice, the aspect of the cross-ice tournaments and stuff like that at that level, it's a brilliant idea, but it's organised chaos. Completely organised chaos. It is wild. It was good to see Sam play. He's going to have to work on his temper a little bit. He was quite slashy and wacky and hitting people quite a lot. Non-contact at this age as well. So that's something we're going to have to work on. I think it's him and his sister playing in the back door. When they play hockey together, they knock plums out at each other. So he has to learn that that's not the case, especially at that level.
I'm going to disagree with that, and I think it's just from watching his dad play.
You're recording. What are you doing?
I'm bouncing.
You need to work on your recording skills here. But it was good to watch. It's definitely a chip off the old block, to put it that way.
So yeah, it's been a really good morning. We're on our way back into Glasgow Paisley, and then we've got a busy afternoon. I've got to head over to Mum's because I've got a bed to take apart and catch up with Jason, and you are on editing. Is that right?
Yep, editing duties today.
Editing today. And obviously let the dogs out and we'll see what's on for the rest of the day. Sammy has requested his afternoon lunch be a McDonald's. And Sarah is the #1 cheerleader. Aren't you, darling? You tired?
No interest.
She's tired. It's been too busy a day. She'd been freezing cold in an ice rink. But yeah, it's been a really good day. So we're going to say cheerio for just now, and we'll catch you either later today, or I'm sure we'll catch you on Tuesday Run for a Bagger. So we'll catch you on the next one. So don't forget to like, share and subscribe. And remember to
Keep it cold-blooded.